From mysterious anomalies that haven't been explained to pieces of history that took a long time to be found, join me as I show you some of the most unbelievable discoveries made underwater. Number 9. The Baltic Sea Anomaly. In the Baltic Sea, there is a formation on the depths of its floor that, when looked at from above, does resemble the legendary ship driven by Han Solo in Star Wars. Yes, it looks like the Millennium Falcon. No joke. This interesting formation was found in 2012 by treasure hunters. A sonar device they had picked up the formation, and when they went to explore it themselves, they found a formation unlike anything they've ever seen or heard about before. What made it strange wasn't just its shape, but also that it was 300 feet below the depths of the sea, as well as the fact that this formation is 210 feet long. Ever since its discovery, people have been working out, or trying to work out, exactly what this thing is, who made it, and why. Some even feel it was an alien craft that someone crashed into the sea. Divers were able to get samples of the formation though, and based on scientific research, it was later determined that the formation was just that, a rock formation made by glacier movement. But not everyone is buying that theory, especially since something about the anomaly causes electrical devices to stop working as it gets near it. What kind of natural formation does that? Not one that many have heard of. So, what exactly is the Baltic Sea Anomaly, and how did it get to that specific of a formation? The mystery continues. Number 8. A massive gap between the tectonic plates. The Earth may seem like a very basic place at times, but there are many things working together to ensure that it doesn't go awry, such as the tectonic plates, which not only hold our planet together, but allow us to live above water. That's because these plates are what the continents of our world are on, and thus there are 7 massive plates underneath the surface within the lithosphere, and the study of them have been a major focus point for scientists over the years, especially when they realized that they were moving away from one another. For the record, that's a bad thing. Specifically, the North American and Eurasian plates are moving farther and farther apart from each other every year. No need to panic just yet, it's only moving apart about an inch a year, but still, they're moving, and if you go underwater, you can actually see the gap between the plates. Should you want to do this, you'll need to go to Iceland, where the gap can be found, and you'll be amazed by what you see. The water is apparently crystal clear, and the sight of the walls of the plates and their verticality can be quite mind-blowing. This has become a somewhat frequent spot for divers to see the beauty of the ocean, and it's something that definitely shocked people when it was found. And can you blame them for their shock? 7. Apollo 11 engine. The space race was one of the most important times for the people of many nations, especially the United States and the then USSR. In 1969, the Apollo 11 shuttle took 3 men from the United States to the moon, and it was a resounding success. They landed on it, and the world was never the same. As was standard procedure, after the shuttle took off from Florida, it ascended to the sky via a course over the ocean. When it did, it detached many parts from the shuttle, including its rocket engine boosters. A search for those engines went on for many decades to find those engines, but with little luck. That is until 2012, when a man named Jeff Bezos went out on a secret mission to try and find the engines. If you feel like you know that name, it's because that's the name of the CEO of Amazon. I'm thrilled to share some exciting news. Amazon.com founder and CEO Jeff Bezos said after the discovery, 44 years ago tomorrow, July 20th, Neil Armstrong stepped onto the moon, and now we have recovered a critical technological marvel that made it all possible. The 2 engines that Bezos and his team found were found in the Atlantic Ocean, but at first they couldn't confirm that they were from the Apollo 11. This was due to how long it had been in the water, added with stress done in by erosion, the fires from the detaching, and more. There was one secret that the ocean didn't give up easily: mission identification, Bezos wrote. the component's fiery end and the heavy corrosion from 43 years underwater removed or covered up most of the original serial numbers. The Kansas Cosmosphere and Space Center in Hutchinson, Kansas were the ones who confirmed the discovery was indeed from Apollo 11. After a long process, they found serial numbers and unit numbers on the engine that noted which ship it came from, making it proof positive that these were indeed the engines from that legendary mission. NASA now proudly displays the engines as a testament to the space program and the first mission to the moon, and they will be honored as part of humanity's daring attempt to be more than just people of Earth, but also people of the stars. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you can watch all of our new videos when they come out. Number 6. A cannon that weighed 3,000 pounds. Pirates are a group of people who have been fantasized and romanticized in movies and TV shows over the years. But many of them were vicious, like the one and only Blackbeard, who was a literal scourge of the seven seas for years before finally being brought down. And his most legendary ship was without a doubt the Queen Anne's Revenge, which ironically he only used for 1 year, and he lost it when he actually ran the ship aground in North Carolina. Naturally, after a while the ship was found, and it had a whole host of treasures, both literal and historical. But one of the weirdest things, though, was one of its cannons, as it weighed a massive 3,000 pounds. Why was it so massive? It's hard to say. More than likely, it was because it was built to endure the harsh weather that the oceans would throw at ships, but no one really knows. I would say it's a fair guess that it would have been a big pain to move. 5. Ice fingers. No, I'm not speaking about human fingers that got frozen. Rather, if you go to the coldest places in the world and look under the water, you'll find a series of ice formations known as the ice fingers or brinicles. While this may not seem impressive at first glance, they can grow to be well beyond the length of a human, which on average is over 5 feet tall. The formation of these ice fingers are caused by brine, which is more dense than the waters around it. As it moves down into the water, it gets colder and then freezes, becoming a literal ice statue underneath the water. And as they grow and evolve, they resemble fingers. You wouldn't notice this above the ice caps that they're formed from, but they are there, and they are interesting. However, I must make it clear that they can be harmful. They've been known to trap fish as they expand and causing them to die because of their icy touch. A new meaning to the phrase, the cold chill of death, no doubt. Number 4. The Bald Cypress Forest. In 2005, Hurricane Katrina ravaged the United States both in terms of its land and its waters. It was a great tragedy, one that the country and state of Louisiana is still recovering from. However, during recovery efforts and examinations of the oceans and gulfs nearby, the hurricane revealed a forest in the waters. No, literally. It was a forest that had been alive 50,000 years ago. This was dubbed the Bald Cypress Forest. In regards to how any trees, let alone a forest, could survive on the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico near Alabama and remain intact for 50,000 years, it had to do with how it was buried. Where it was covered with sediment in such a complete way that it made sure that there wasn't any oxygen reaching the trees. With no oxygen to cause withering or erosion, the trees remained intact until the hurricane blew away all the sediment and revealed them. In fact, so preserved were the trees by this sediment that when pieces of the trees were cut down in order to be studied by scientists, it was found that they still had their smell. That's very impressive, and it goes to show how nature can still surprise you with how it protects certain things. 3. Locomotive Graveyard. You might hear the title Locomotive Graveyard and think of something on land, and yet, off the coast of New Jersey, you'll find a literal locomotive graveyard in the ocean for real. This very unique find was made in 1985, and to this day is a bit of a mystery in terms of the how and the why, to the extent that there are no records of these trains ever being built. So if they were never built, how did they get made, and more importantly, how did they end up in the ocean off the coast of New Jersey? There are some who have formed theories about it, including boating accidents or something of the like, but the real answer is still out there waiting to be found. Number 2. Yonaguni Monument. In Japan, there is a place called Yonaguni Island. There, they have one of the most interesting monuments in the world beneath the waves. The Yonaguni Monument is a series of rock formations that has the scientific world split as to whether this is a natural design or something made by man, and they're still debating about it. Let's start with the obvious. It's all underwater, and the size of it makes it unlikely that it just sunk into the ocean, though not impossible based on other underwater finds. On the other hand, the way the monument is designed has clear markings of human building, including right angles, having rocks be on platforms in specific ways, and even having a rock protrusion that looks like the carving of a human face. And if it was a natural formation, that would require not just time, but precision that just seems very unlikely. Not impossible, but unlikely. This monument continues to baffle those who study it. Number 1. Mariana Trench. Have you ever wondered what is the deepest part of the ocean today? Well, in terms of depth, the Mariana Trench is one of those places in the ocean by far. To get there, you must go 36,000 feet below sea level and then keep going to reach its true bottom. You could put Mount Everest into the ocean and not touch the trench. That's how deep we're talking here. Since its discovery in 1875 off the coast of Mariana and Caroline Islands, scientists from all over have been trying to find out more about this mysterious part of the world. One such mystery is how anything can survive there. Yet, many species of animals do live down there, and it's widely accepted that we don't know everything that is in the Mariana Trench, simply because so few people have gone down there. How many have made it that far? First was oceanographer Jacques Piccard and USN Lieutenant Don Walsh, who went there in 1960 and then in 2012. Legendary film director James Cameron made the trek. Combined, though, they were only able to be down there a few hours, and Cameron had the longer of the two voyages because of his personalized vessel. There are some who think that the trench has an access point to another deeper part of the ocean, but only a true trek would be able to prove that. Still, this is one adventure that someone is going to make, just like someone made it to find this trench. Thanks for watching. Can you believe some of the things that they found underwater? Which of these particular finds was your favorite? Do you have any clues or notions as to how or why some of the mysterious ones ended up underwater? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.